the explosion remains under investigation. New York Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is showing her support for TikTok as calls to ban the app grow louder. On Saturday, she posted her own video on TikTok saying it would be unprecedented for the U.S. to ban a social media company. I'm Brad C.
Now, your 3-day weather forecast on Bloomberg 960.
Still a frost warning in effect for parts of the Bay Area until tomorrow morning. Tonight, clear skies, breezy low getting down towards 30 degrees. Tomorrow, plenty of sunshine, high up near 60. Tomorrow night, clear skies and a low getting down towards 30 degrees. And for Monday, a mix of sun and clouds and a high near 65. That's your Bloomberg 960 3-day weather forecast. I'm Susanna Palmer. This is Bloomberg.
Missed your favorite show on Bloomberg 960? Bloomberg Business Week, Masters in Business, Bloomberg Intelligence, and more are also available as podcasts. Listen today on Apple, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.
I'm David Miliband, President and CEO of the International Rescue Committee. The IRC is a non-profit organization that helps people whose lives have been shattered by conflict and disaster. A terrible earthquake that struck the Turkish-Syrian border has piled crisis on more than 10 years of agony for the Syrian people. Tens of thousands are dead, and many more are without power, water, or adequate shelter, all in the midst of freezing temperatures. The needs are so great that survival in the next few days and weeks will count as success. The IRC teams on the ground are working day and night to provide life-saving support, including cash, hygiene supplies, and essential health services. But we need your help. Your emergency gift will help us expand our response efforts so we can help families in Turkey and Syria without forgetting crisis zones around the world. Please, give what you can. Visit rescue.org to donate and to learn more about our work.
We gather together in communities across the nation to remember and honor, to celebrate and support, to light the night. Join us as we lift our lanterns high in order to move toward a world free of blood cancer. Join us as we light the night for a loved one. Join us. We are the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Our mission is to cure leukemia, lymphoma, Hodgkin's disease, and myeloma. Our aim is to improve the quality of life of patients and their families. Join us. We are LLM, and when we walk, cancer runs. Join your community and help bring light to the darkness of cancer. Join us as we light the night. Find your local event at lightthenight.org. That's lightthenight.org.
If you're having a business dispute, the process can be slow and drawn out, especially if you rely on litigation in the courts. You can wait for years before your case is resolved, and the longer your case proceeds, the more your case can cost. Not the American Arbitration Association. Arbitration or mediation with the American Arbitration Association is faster. In fact, nearly 50% of our cases settle prior to hearings. ADR.org. Resolve faster. Bloomberg 960 is the Bay Area's 2023 home for Oakland A's baseball.
It's way back to left, and that is in the upper deck.
Don't miss a second of the action as the Athletics go to battle in the challenging AL West.
192. Hitting with a fastball 97.
It's every A's game all season long, right here.
It's 3-2, and the A's have won it 10th regular score.
Bloomberg 960 and 103.7 FM HD2.
You're listening to Bloomberg Opinion. I'm Amy Morris. Now, the numbers show we are getting back to pre-pandemic labor force participation rates. Well, most of us. There is one group still missing. Bloomberg Opinion columnist Justin Fox covers business, and he joins us now. Justin, what is Gen Z's role in the labor force? Where are they?
If you just look by age groups, and they slice them into some pretty narrow ones, what stands out is people over 65 and people in their 20s are still well short of where they were in terms of both labor force participation and employment versus right before the pandemic. Most groups sort of between those are pretty similar to where they were, and then teenagers, especially younger teenagers, have much higher labor force participation before the pandemic, but it's still not that many of them work because they used to decades ago, but their participation in the labor force has fallen a lot over the years.
What's the hang-up? Demand for labor is high, so the jobs are there.
Yeah, you figure with the 65 and older, it's sort of either continuing fear of COVID, or just this sense that, I'm 78 years old, maybe I just stop working. And for a while there, a lot of people's portfolios were growing a lot, although that's been less the case lately. For people in their 20s, I don't know. This is something that's gotten relatively little attention. I think the best explanation to me is just that that's an age, that's people who are just about to go into the labor force when the pandemic hit. They got laid off at higher rates than anybody else because of more junior workers, and also lots of them were working in service jobs and in restaurants and retail and stuff. And so they got laid off. Recruiting out of college got kind of paused for a few months there. And I just get this sense, it's basically down by about a percentage point, their labor force participation. So it's not huge numbers, but it's a few 100,000 people who maybe got a little thrown for a loop. Oh, other things are, they got thrown out of their jobs, but they also got a bunch of money thrown at them early in the pandemic, which may have changed their equation, although they don't have that money anymore. And another is a lot of people in their early 20s. They may have had to take care of younger siblings or older relatives when their parents had to go off to work or schools were closed and such.
What would it take to get these groups that you talked about back into the workforce?
I mean, in general, it seems the lesson of the past 5 or 6 years has just been a really tight labor market. A lot of demand, higher wages pulls people back in. And so you figure, a couple more years like the last couple of years, and it would probably be all better again. But obviously that's not exactly how things are looking right now this year. Beyond that, I'm not sure. Right? Like, how do you go find these people who really should be getting started on their careers and help them, get them either that nudge or that little boost to get them working?
It is a little worrisome, but I want to know from you, how worrisome is this? I mean, can we get along just fine without this chunk of the workforce? Or has the pandemic completely changed how we look at the workforce, the face of the workforce, and how we look at work? Don't forget, we are available as a podcast on Apple, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. Stay with us. Today's top stories and global business headlines are coming up right now.
This is KNEW Oakland, KUSF 103.7 FM HD2 San Francisco, Bloomberg 960. Now a global news update.
An outbreak of tornadoes and strong thunderstorms across Mississippi and Alabama has killed at least 26 people. Search and rescue operations are ongoing, but first responders will have a rough job. The trail of destruction is over 100 miles, with at least 12 tornadoes hitting the areas. The rural towns of Silver City and Rolling Fork bore the brunt of the damage. The mayor of Rolling Fork is speaking out after that outbreak of tornadoes.
Our community is devastated at this point. We've lost lives, we have folks who are injured, and I have friends that have lost, and families that are displaced.
Mayor Elvis Walker says entire buildings in town have been flooded. Governor Tate Reeves says the loss these communities endured will be felt forever. President Biden is offering full federal help for the affected communities. Police say the remains of a third person have been discovered most controversial bills of this legislative session. Will Clark has more.
Senate Bill 150 is legislation that would direct teachers to use the pronoun that matches a student's birth gender, require schools to create a bathroom plan mandating students use the restroom that corresponds with their birth gender, and prohibit gender change procedures for Kentuckians under age 18. The governor vetoed it in his message, saying the bill allows too much government interference in personal health care, puts educators in a position where they have to be investigators and act on conversations they may overhear relating to transgender students. I'm Will Clark.
A major professional services company is planning to eliminate 19,000 jobs. Accenture says the move will cost more than $1 billion in severance over the next year and a half. The company that's based in Ireland will also consolidate its office space. That move will cost $300 million. Despite the job cut, it's expected to affect 2.5% of the company.
from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.